Irvingman! Lois has a nice human interest story to run past Perry.
Dear Superman, tomorrow is my birthday. I will be 7 years old. I would like to go to the county fair and ride on the merry-go-round and the roller coaster. But I can't because I'm crippled. You do so many good things for people. I thought maybe you would come and take me to the fair. Your friend, Kathie Williams, 22 Hill Street, Metropolis.
Aww. Perry says we'll give her a nice big party, and if Superman doesn't show up, we'll take her to the fair. You know, deep down, I think he likes the idea. The girl in question is in her room playing with her singing doll when the phone rings.
Hello?
Look, they're after me. I gotta talk fast. The meeting's set for 10 o'clock Saturday night at the Lambert Engraving Company. You got it?
Why is he telling a 7-year-old kid? I guess we won't find out. Actually, we will, just not from him.
The clerk at the tobacco store says Cusack was talking on the phone when he was shot.
I don't get it. I thought Cusack was supposed to call here.
He was, but he called the wrong number.
How do you know?
The clerk found this on the floor.
The number was 1 digit off. Fortunately, Frenchy McFrenchman there knows somebody at the phone company, so they can trace the number and find out who Cusack was talking to.
The name is Williams, 22 Hill Street, apartment 3.
Williams? I'll bet you it was a little...
Slugger, keep quiet.
What for? It says in the paper...
Hey, Slugger! We've got to find out who took the message, that's all.
I still say it was a little girl in the paper.
All right. What little girl? What paper?
That's where interrupting gets you. If you shut up and listen, you might learn something, even from him.
She's expecting Superman. Well, Superman is going to show up. Or let's say someone dressed as Superman.
Yes.
Say, that's a great idea. But who are we gonna get to, Say, what you looking at me for?
They really think he'll make a convincing Superman? The real Superman heads to Kathie's place.
You're Superman.
Yes.
Where's Kathie?
Well, that's what I'd like to know. I came to take her to the fair.
You came to take...
Well, yes. You are Kathie's mother, aren't you? What's wrong?
Oh, you know what's wrong. I just came in. I took time off from work to fix a birthday party, and I found this.
Dear Mommy, if I'm not back by the time you get home, don't worry. Superman took me to the fair.
He got there too late. Slugger already took her.
I don't understand. This is Catherine's
Of
writing.
course, and you made her write it. You...
I made her write it.
Don't pretend. You've taken her someplace. You've taken her.
You're mistaken.
But you won't get away with it. If any harm's come to Kathie, I'm going to get the police.
Why would he? What would he have to gain from kidnapping her? Superman can see she's hysterical, so he gives up and leaves to look for the little girl. Happy New Year.
Superman, why'd you carry me up the fire escape? I thought you could fly. And why'd we come here? You promised to take me to the fair.
Don't ask so many questions, little girl.
That's the best costume they could come up with? And she bought it? Granted, she's only 7, but even so.
I don't think you're Superman at all. You don't talk like Superman. You don't act like Superman. You don't even look like Superman.
Yeah? Is that so?
You made it, Slugger. Good work.
Kathie, I am your Aunt Mary, and this is your Uncle Marcel.
I don't have any answer, Uncle.
Marie says, you got a phone call yesterday that was meant for us. Can you remember what the man said?
Oh, sure. He said, look, they're after me. Gotta talk fast.
Good, good. And then?
Then he said, the meeting's set for 10 o'clock Saturday night.
Saturday, that is tomorrow. Go on, dear.
Go on.
The rest of the message. Where did he say the meeting was going to take place?
Oh, that? I forget.
They have a time but not a place. No amount of cajoling will jog her memory. She just can't pull that part of the message out. At the Planet, Clark and Lois are brainstorming when the clerk from the tobacco store where Cusack was shot comes in. He's heard about the reward and thinks he can claim it. He found the paper with the phone number on it, but the French couple took it. Still, he remembered the number and called it, and it was Kathie's. He heard the woman call the man Marcel. Speaking of Marcel, it's been 2 days and Kathie still can't remember the rest of the message. They're plying her with gifts and toys, but it's not doing any good.
It says Mama.
I don't like it.
What do you mean you don't like it? I picked it out special for you.
It's no good. Any old doll can say Mama. My doll can sing. I want my own doll. I want to go home.
If that doesn't melt your heart and convince you to take her home, you don't have a heart.
You think if we got her own doll for her?
You mean go to her house? That's too dangerous.
Of course it is dangerous, but what else can we do?
It's not the doll she wants so much as the room the doll is in. She wants to go home. But it's obvious these people never had kids because they're all clueless. They head to her apartment to get her doll.
She's got to remember the meeting place if we are to be there tonight and stop LaRue from delivering the plates.
Plates. Cusack did a stretch for counterfeiting. This is starting to come together a little. Lois has gone to the Williams place to let Mrs. Williams know about the clerk's story. It should prove that Superman had nothing to do with Kathie's disappearance.
Who are you? What do you want?
You have to love how people just walk into other people's places without knocking.
Well, I'm a reporter from the Daily Planet. I had an appointment with Mrs. Williams.
Now ask who they are. But I think she's figured out that might not be too healthy.
Go on.
Well, I just wanted to tell her that we're doing all we can to find Kathie, that is. Kathie's her little girl. She's missing. Been missing for a day or so. Well, I guess I came a little early.
She waits out of sight and follows them, but gets caught in traffic and loses them. Clark has a contact at the FBI who's identified the couple.
Marcel and Marie Duval, eh? Where'd you get these?
The FBI. Craig Roberts sent them over. They're French counterfeiters. They hired a man named LaRue to steal a couple of 1,000-franc plates from the Bank of France.
Did he?
He sure did, but he double-crossed those two. He brought the plates to America. And the FBI figures he plans to sell the plates to Big Jim Hanlon.
Cusack worked for them when one of Hanlon's men killed him. Perry realizes that Cusack called the wrong number, and now the Duvals have taken Kathie, thinking she can tell him the message. Perry is ballistic.
They might be torturing the poor kid, trying to beat it out of her. Kent, she's crippled. We've got to...
Clark, Chief,
Great Caesar's ghost!
I just saw them, the man and the woman.
You mean these two, the Duvals?
Yes. They were snooping around Kathie's apartment. They got a cab, I followed, but I got caught at a traffic light and they got away.
A cab, what kind?
A United.
Excuse me, Chief.
A call to the cab company puts him through to the driver. He knows where the cab dropped them off.
And so the tin soldier stood straight and stiff from that time on. You like that story, little girl?
Yes, and you know something?
What?
I like you.
I like you too, little girl.
And now it's time for a little psychology.
Mr. Slugger, you're not really a bad man. Why don't you take me home?
Well, now, that wouldn't be right.
I know. You're just afraid of them.
Afraid me? I ain't afraid of nobody. Didn't I tell you about the time I went 20 rounds with terrible Tommy O'Toole? If that Rev hadn't been blind as a bat, I'd have...
Okay, Kathie, reel him in.
Then you will take me home, Mr. Slugger? You're not afraid?
Me afraid? Huh? I ain't afraid of nobody. Climb aboard.
That almost worked. Now Slugger is tied up and Kathie is playing with her doll. They have half an hour to get the answer out of her.
You remember, all right? You're just being stubborn. Well, I know how to handle stubborn children.
That's it. Lambert something.
Lambert Engraving Company, out in Watsonville. We just have time to make it.
What about them?
We leave them here. By the time they're found, we'll be out of the country.
But to make sure they don't go anywhere, he takes Kathie's leg brace off.
Yeah, that's right, Inspector. They left about half an hour ago for the
Lambert Engraving Company's out in Watsonville. The man said 10 o'clock.
It's 10 minutes to 10. Maybe we can get out there in time.
Maybe not.
Clark, where are you going?
This is a job for Superman. I mean, I've got to find him.
Just tell her. While he runs into that same alley that we first saw in Texas, the Duvals have caught up with their courier.
Hanlon? Heinlein could not make it, Larry.
Marcel.
You have a bad memory for appointments, Larry. You were supposed to deliver those plates to us in Paris 2 months ago.
A few more words exchanged, and suddenly it's a gunfight. I didn't bother to count anybody's shots, but it sure felt like there were more than 12 fired there. That happened a lot in these old shows, and nobody paid attention to it because it was just how TV was. I should revise that. The adults that I knew didn't pay attention. We kids did. I remember one time, I don't know what the show was, but I asked my dad, didn't he just fire 8 shots from that 6-shooter? My dad replied, it's magic, and went back to the show. When you're 9 years old in that situation, what can you do? Just go with it. It never fails. Bullets bounce off, so they try fists. If any of these criminals had any sense, they'd try begging instead.
Okay, Hammond, get him up. All of you. What's your hurry, lady? You're not going anywhere.
But Marcel has not yet begun to be stupid.
The plates, Marie! Get rid of them!
The plate! She dropped them in a vat of acid.
There you are, Inspector. You can see that these are returned to the Bank of France.
He didn't think Superman could do that. I doubt the place will be useful again, depending on how strong the acid in that vat is. Chances are it damaged them enough that they'll have to be discarded. But at least nobody will be making funny money with them.
Kathie, I've come in answer to your letter. Yes, I'm the real one. It's a real one this time.
He did fly in the window. That's a fair indicator.
As I understand it, you want to go on the roller coaster?
And the merry-go-round and the Ferris wheel.
All right.
So we're off to the fair. But I have a feeling those rides are going to seem a little tame after that. Until next time. Video by Harry Harrison. Audio by Morris Morrison. Wardrobe and makeup by Alice Allison. Your announcer has been Peter Peterson.